What's up, guys? Welcome to the week recap show where we dive deeper into some thoughts of the week and just stuff I'm honestly generally just been thinking about and things that have been mulling over in my head and all that good stuff. I just got a YouTube strike and I'm in that YouTube timeout as we speak. I'm currently trying to fight that. We'll see where that goes. Apparently, one of my videos, I do joking videos all the time on YouTube. I post them on TikTok. I post them everywhere of me just making fun of things and short little clips here and there. But I have this one clip just mocking Bill de Blasio's video he put out where he's eating food while he's giving a press conference, like it's something like an asthma, that ASMR thing where people are like chewing and making those noises in the microphone and all that stuff. Some people, it makes people feel uncomfortable, and some people are, I guess, turned on by it in a way, not necessarily sexually, but like it gets them around. I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird. But I just did a mocking video of like how, when the CDC just put out their new mask guidance of if you're vaccinated, you can take off your mask. And I put out a video and they striked it down saying it's misinformation. It's the most obvious and clear joking video ever. It has me wearing a fake long hair in the back for a fake mullet and my tinfoil hat with sunglasses. I look absolutely ridiculous as I'm eating oatmeal and spewing it out of my mouth. It's a total joke. And I wrote a long email back saying, if you don't understand this is a joke, then I just feel sorry for you, because there's no way someone should look at this and think it and take it as information to be taken seriously, even though it is information I took from this CDC website. YouTube and big tech doesn't even know what to do with information these days. They don't even know what script to go with. They don't know whether, do we do the mask thing? Do we not do the mask thing? Is vaccinated, not vaccinated? How do we tell people are vaccinated? What's going on with this? Is everyone on board with the unmasked thing, or is it just the CDC? Do we even trust the CDC now? Before we were using them as a standard, but now we're waiting for Fauci to say something. It's just, they don't even know what to do. And this is what happens when you control information and you allow lies to be on platforms, but not truth. While you allow some of the one side of quote-unquote science and the other side not allowed on. This is what happens when you try to control information. And this is why it's important for information to be free and flowing. There should be no restrictions. Why? Because that's the best way for us as a society, as a people, as a group to grow, is to have different ideas coming together, and then the people can decide and weed out what is the best form or what is the best ideology to subscribe to, because that's how we grow. When you shut people down and hush people, you create these little factions, these little tribes, these circles that just grow. Just continue to grow, and you can't stop it, because their voices, people will still have word of mouth and be able to tell you about. Hey, did you hear about what Alex Jones said? Did you hear it? Did you hear this? Wow, he's starting to get a lot of things right. I can't believe the things he's gotten right before are things that have taken him off the platform and not allowed him to have a voice or speak. I was just thinking the other day about Milo Yiannopoulos. Remember that guy? He was everywhere. And now he's been banned and shunned from the world. And told to go in his corner. And shut down. Not given a voice. Told to shut up and listen. Or go somewhere else. Start your own platform, they say. It's just a private company, they say. If social media is just a private company, it's like the same thing as a 24-hour fitness. Give me a freaking break. 24-hour fitness doesn't sway and move elections. People don't use them as a platform to have a voice. I am This is where the non-conservative, non-libertarian side of me comes out, and full liberal is that they should be regulated. They should be forced to either say they're a publisher or a platform, and if they're a platform, then they have to allow all free speech no matter what. As long as somebody isn't breaking the law, threatening someone, saying, I'm going to kill you, saying, cursing someone down, verbally assaulting someone, saying, hey, I'm going to punch you in the face, bro. And I'm not joking. You can't say that in real life. So why should you say that on so you can't say that on these social media platforms? But people get away with that crap all the time. But it's only if you're have a conservative voice or you make fun of the establishment. That's when they have a problem. When I put a video making fun of the CDC, but also Bill de Blasio because of how preposterous and stupid some of their statements are, that's when there's a problem. That's when you cross the line. But when somebody calls me a maggot or which is just like a reference to the, the gay homophobic slur and a Trump supporter, which I'm neither. I liked Trump. I voted for Trump, but I don't care about, I'm not obsessed with the person. I don't need him to save me. I have ideas and values that I subscribe to that I think quote unquote Trump the person. And I will vote for anybody that espouses those. I would love Rand Paul to run. I would love DeSantis to run. Those are people I could go behind. There's not much on the liberal side that I totally agree with or think they could run for. Tulsi Gabbard, maybe, is somebody that I think I could consider if the Republican candidate is such a POS that I would vote for. So YouTube has just taken me down. I'm not a huge platform. I'm not big. And that's why I'm so thankful for you for listening to me, taking time out of your day when there is fantastic people to listen to on the radio, on podcast, on video, and you've taken time out of your day to listen to me ramble, listen to my thoughts in my brain. I don't prep, especially these weekend recap shows. Those are just off my head, and I don't even know where they're going when they start sometimes. But it's just things that I've been molding over my head and thinking about. Stuff that just happened today with the YouTubes. Hopefully I'll get back online because I really enjoy going live on there and doing live streams because they've taken that away from me. And I'm not affecting a generation. Even so, it shouldn't matter. And then just say, hey, just go to a different platform. The platform doesn't have the views, doesn't have the community, doesn't have the people to go to. Like Rumble, ugly, I don't mind it, but BitChute, it's okay, it's not the greatest. There's, the things like Parler, and no one uses it really. No one takes it seriously. Gab, no one really takes it that seriously. But Twitter, people take very seriously, and they should be also regulated. Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube should be heavily looked at by the Republican Senate, and they won't do it. And I don't know why they never did it under Trump. That drove me insane. I know that's the conservative side is just let the private companies do whatever. But they're more than that. They're more than just a private company. They're in control of so much. Like Amazon is more than just a private company. They control basically the internet, and they control commerce. They control retail space. They control the world. They have movies. They have film. To say it's just a private company is ridiculous. They influence elections. They give to candidates an preposterous amount. They allow space to allow candidates to speak. They're not just a private company. This isn't capitalism. This is more like crony cap. This is the crap I don't like. This is the evil side of what capitalism can become. It's not just a small business. Just let them be. Just start something else. Oh, you can't start something up because they own the servers? Oh, sorry. This week was nuts, okay? And we had the CDC coming out and saying, hey, if you've been vaccinated, you can take off your mask. Even Biden said it. What? And then now we have AOC coming out just now, reveals she's going to keep wearing her face mask despite being fully vaccinated, and says some are just going to take time to adjust how we feeling comfortable. And David Hogg came out and said the same. I'm going to keep wearing my face mask because I don't want people to think I'm a liberal. I mean, a conservative. What a stupid thing to say. To say that it's not a cult or a religion, and when you come out with statements like this, like, despite the science, the party that was for the science, we are the party of the science, even though the science means, hey, this is what we believe, and if you go against what we believe, that's anti-science. This is only real science. But now they're saying, hey, I'm going to keep wearing my mask. And if people were to go, hey, that's anti-science, they're like, hey, shut your mouth. Like, what? You've been calling people out all year long. Get off me for that. But there's like a mental illness. It's like there's like people have such high anxiety. The media has played on their minds and hearts about what this COVID is and have shown pictures, videos, and only let one voice speak. Anytime there's anything positive going on with COVID, they're not allowed to say that because they've been shut down. Hey, we have these new therapeutics coming out. Check out this one therapeutic. Hey, don't talk about that. This is a pandemic. This is a real thing. Everyone's dying all the time. You can only say negative things because we're the media and we know what sells. Negative ideologies. That's why you hear things like ivermectin. No one really knows about that, but it's changing people's lives. When hydrochloroquine went out, yeah, it wasn't the most researched thing, but people were saying, hey, this is like helping people out. Hey, don't talk about that. Even if it isn't not that effective, it should be talked about. It should be put out in front. Doctors should say, hey, we've been using it, it's not worked. Hey, we've been using it, it has worked. It works for some, doesn't work for all. That should be an okay thing to talk about. But instead, social media saw that as a threat. Why is it a threat? You can't question the establishment, the order, because you need to be trained to rely on the government for information and your well-being. If you think I'm crazy, think about this whole year. Think of what we've done all year long. We took 14 days to slow the spread into a whole year, and then we just were okay with it. Bills were passed saying, hey, this is the American Rescue Plan. Here's some money for you. Yes, it's only like a certain percentage of the actual bill. It's a very small amount that you're getting, that it's actually about the Americans being rescued. It's more about appeasing my friends and, you know, their frailties and not being able to spend money very well. This hasn't been about us being safe. This has been a bit about a major power grab, and it's only getting stronger as big tech, you know, these big companies, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Google, all the same pretty much, to say they're all different entities and they're all working separately. It's a total joke. It's just a joke. I love when all these liberals that hate Facebook because they're like, how can they allow these free people to talk on it? Like, no. They block people all the time. What are you talking about? They're spreading misinformation. Well, then argue about it. Find out if it's fake. Do your due diligence. Read a freaking article for once in your life instead of just looking at the title. Are you taking your mask off? Because I certainly am. I haven't been to a grocery store since this news came out anyways. But to be honest, there's a part of me that is nervous about walking into the grocery store without a mask for just the whole year we've had where people have been like, put your freaking mask on. I'm going to put you on the news. I'm going to put you on video. I'm going to loud you out. You're going to look like an idiot. You're going to lose your job over this. So that part of me makes it nervous, not because like COVID or worrying about people breathing on me has nothing. I'm just worried. People are nuts. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to take my mask off and I'm going to do it. I've been working out in my gym for the last 4 or 5 months without a mask. There's been a few of us that I've just noticed we've all decided, hey, we're taking it off, and we've taken it off and worked out with it, and no one said anything to us. Yeah, people still come in and work out with masks, and none of us are like, oh, look at that person with a mask. What a loser. Yeah, maybe I've thought about it in my head, but I've never, no one's getting in people's faces like, hey, take that mask off, you wiener. Just some conservative Christian curse words. Don't say the real thing. Don't say what you want to say. Say what makes you feel better. But anyways, what a weird week. As the CDC put out that new guidelines, Joe Biden said all those things. No new information, no new statistic that we're going by. It's because there's too much chaos going on. Inflation's here. Jobs market looks bad. Israel and Hamas fighting. Russia and Ukraine. China getting bigger. Looking at Taiwan. There's the border crisis that they pretend is not a crisis. There's so much going on. This presidency is a sham and a joke, and it's been terrible. And the media are, I think, tired of... you can tell they're starting to get tired of covering for him. As I watched the press conferences all week long, as every time a very liberal source like CNN or anywhere else like MSNBC, Washington Post, New York Times, when they had questions in a press conference, they were very hesitant and scared to ask. They would give caveats or little intros like, hey, Jen, I know you're like really struggling a lot like right now and things are going crazy, but why are so many people crossing the like? So they would give a little caveat just to make her feel better, and then they would ask the real question because even they can't pretend like it's been a great show or been a great presidency. They just can't do it. They don't know what to do. Progressives love Biden because he's just doing whatever they say. And sometimes every once in a while he'll go off script and say something they don't agree with, and that's when they hate it. That's why he's not allowed to answer questions, because some of these questions that are given, and he might answer in a way that's more conservative, more moderate, and that's not a good thing. That's you're getting off script, Joe. What a weird week. Some of your questions this week they've sent to me, especially about cryptocurrency. I'm a big fan of cryptocurrency. Anything decentralized, I love. I mean, I'm not telling you where to invest, but I am in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a little bit in Doge because I think it's hilarious. There are just too much people who believe in Doge as a joke and too much momentum behind it for me to like invest heavily in, but it's more like a joke and just like, hey, this is some money. If I lose it, whatever, but if it makes a lot of money, awesome. But Bitcoin is the number one for me. I see that going to 1 million. I don't know when, could be years from now, but there's just way more confidence behind it. And Elon Musk's little tweet against it this week that dropped the price, and it's still struggling. Like, what is it at right now? It's still not doing very well. But it's gone down. It's at 47,000, but it's not like dropping massively. There's still too much confidence in it. I think this is an investor play, and I think they're just waiting. It's consolidating a little bit. Let's see. I think it's, yeah. Last time it bounced around 49, and now it's at 47, so it's going down a little bit. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I just think there's too much confidence behind Bitcoin, and it makes way too much sense for the future. And banks hate it. Warren Buffett hates it. Peter, what is that? What's his name? I want to say Peter Griffin. Peter, the gold guy. He always hates Bitcoin. I forget his name. Peter Schiff. That's it. Came in my head. He hates it. I don't care. Bunch of boomers. They just don't get it, and they hate that. And there's not like a backing, and they don't think it has enough. I just think there's too much confidence, and it makes too much sense to have a decentralized system as we get more worldly. Where did it bounce from last time? So it bounced at 45 last time. That could happen again. We'll see. So that was like a bunch of my main questions have been about cryptocurrency. So are you in cryptocurrency? Let me know your thoughts about crypto. There's one new crypto everyone's talking about, Moderno or something. I don't know. I have to look into that. Ethereum's pretty centralized. I just like Bitcoin because it's decentralized. I really like that. And it just, everything I read about Bitcoin, it just seems like a safer bet. But again, nothing is safe. The dollar is not safe. As we continue to print more money and make all these new bills. Joe Biden's spending $10 trillion. And it's like, no big deal. Where does this money come from? We're printing it. We're making $10 million there. Right there. Here you go. Send it to everyone. As our dollar loses its value and, gas shortages this whole week, and people were like freaking out that a gas company paid $5 million in ransom as we gave $230 million to Palestine earlier in the year. As if that wasn't a huge issue. No big deal. Hamas coming and shooting rockets at Israel just recently. No correlation whatsoever. Don't ever say that because that's a conspiracy, and shut your mouth. But it just shows where we're so vulnerable at, and all these companies don't take cybersecurity very seriously. And also, there are so many people that get hired that don't understand. When you get an email, don't click on the link if you don't know who it's from. Don't do it. If you find a USB drive on the ground, don't plug it in your computer. There's simple things that you can do to stop so much of this. I worked in education for a long time. I would have teachers all the time, and then I worked in the computer side of education for a little while. There was a few teachers who would just open whatever they had. And yes, they were older, but they would just open things, click on things, boom, a virus would be on there, and then I would have to take all day to get that virus off. And it was just, and we wipe the computer, go through it all again, and I don't want to lose all my stuff. Like, I don't care if you don't want to lose all your stuff. This is what you did. You need to learn. Viruses are serious. It's very easy to get one, especially if you don't know. Just don't open that thing. Like the other day, I got a little text messages on my phone sent to my phone saying, "Hey, did you finish what you started or something on Instagram? Here's your Instagram account. Fix it." And I'm like, this is the most spammy thing ever. But somebody that doesn't understand would just click the link. And just automatically download and put a Trojan horse on your computer. It's so ridiculous. Don't open the links. Don't click the links. Take your mask off. Put your mask on. I don't care. Are you vaccinated? Are you not vaccinated? It's none of my business. All my liberal friends about like the vaccinated thing. I know this is like podcast a little random, but they're always like, how are we going to know who's been vaccinated and not vaccinated? This is a real problem. I'm like, that's fine. I'll let you know if I'm vaccinated or not vaccinated, but then you got to show me your whole medical history. And I also want to know it. Have you been to a counselor? And what did you talk about with that counselor? Because I would like to know that too. It's for my safety. The world is crazy, and we're just living in it. Be sure to laugh at things, people, because if you're not laughing at this stuff, you're just going to get crazy. You're going to go insane. You're going to have high anxiety, and you're going to be like AOC. You're going to keep your mask on despite being vaccinated and seeing the science and knowing our hospitals are okay. And how old are you? You don't smoke. You're not massively overweight. So the two of the main factors you're not doing, you're going to be okay. Okay? There's never been a time where somebody goes, I hope you get the flu. And people went, oh, don't say that. I don't want the flu. The flu sucks, man. Now people say, I hope you don't get you're going to get COVID. That means automatic death. When so many people have gotten it and been fine, yes, lots of people have died. But you know what more people die from? Sugar. Sugar, diabetes, heart disease is a real thing, and no one wants to talk about that. Hey, we're going to take M&Ms from you. M&M companies, Hershey says, shut your mouth. We're going to keep making sugar, and we're going to get you fat, and we're going to put you on diabetes medicine for the rest of your life. That's the real issue. You know what's also bad for you? Alcohol. Alcohol is really bad for you, but we take it anyways. So, shut up and leave people alone. Again, if I ever run for Congress, or the Senate, or the president, just know my slogan will be, I'm just going to leave you alone. Do what you got to do, make as much money as you can, and live happily ever after. Amen. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Derek O'Shea Show. Please tell your friends and family about the Derek O'Shea Show. Tell your neighbors about it. Scream in their face. Punch them in the face. Tell them the Derek O'Shea Show is something you should listen to. I know he's just another white guy podcaster. But he says the news, and it makes me laugh. And I hope I do that for you. And I hope I get this YouTube thing resolved so I can get back on there, and that you can join me for my live streams on there. Have a fantastic day. And as always, I'll see you on the next episode of The Derek O'Shea Show.